Aimee, delighted to have you at Sport Beach at our content studio. So you run the Glancy North American product launch.
Yeah.
And I just had the demo downstairs. You have this amazing demo and you can try it firsthand. I got some amazing pictures of myself that looks like I'm in a catalog.
Yeah.
Amazing. So I'm curious to understand a little bit the inspiration foundationally around the technology, because people have been talking about agents and AI participating in how consumers shop, but this is the first time someone's actually attempted to build a product on it.
Yeah.
As far as we know, right?
Yeah. I would say is, from a consumer perspective, we're experiencing a fundamental shift.
Mm-hmm.
AI has brought a level of technology that creates real value and utility for consumers in their day-to-day lives.
Mm-hmm.
And for us, that manifests as an intelligent shopping agent. So we first got started by powering the ambient screen on a Samsung phone. So we built a generative image capability and made it fun. We made this unused wallpaper, real estate really, this immersive canvas.
Right.
So bringing the consumer into that experience, allowing them to see themselves in more immersive ways, and wrapping content and product and discovery around that really before intent is formed. So it's a device that you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do?
Right.
Look at your phone.
Yeah.
180 times a day. So that was so successful. The response was so amazing. We thought, where's the next natural place we could deploy our shopping agent? And the next screen is a television in someone's home. So we took that same concept, deployed our agent in the TV-based environment.
Okay.
So we actually, our moat really is natively integrated into these devices themselves. So on the television, it manifests after 5 minutes of inactivity. The ambient screen pops up again, and it might be this time a beautiful image of you in Italy with your family.
Right.
Or your pet.
Yeah.
Or you on the top of a mountain top, because we know that you're passionate about sports. Snow sports particularly.
Right. So I think for people who haven't tried it, what I thought was interesting, so you take your selfie, then the model has been trained on your brand partner's content, like clothing items and accessories, and then you get something like 100 pictures of yourself, perfectly lit, as you'd expect in like a catalog. And actually something I hadn't expected was how confidence building it is.
Yeah.
Because there have been concierge services before, but because they are individuals, you may or may not connect with their style or their preferences, or they may pick or mispick for you.
Yeah.
And that can be a barrier, and I'm sure they have a lot of drop-offs because of that. But because it's AI, I found that almost all the pictures were something that I could see myself wearing.
Exactly.
And it was stretching a little bit where I could, what I would normally wear.
Yeah.
But it was I was surprised there was a byproduct that it felt confidence inspiring.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting part of AI that I hadn't realized. And so I'm curious, when you developed the UX, did you test this with customers, and what were the kind of feedback you were getting, and how did you develop this experience?
Yeah, so from a product perspective, it's an interesting distinction. We actually built this first for the consumer. So we like to say we have a personal model for each user. So your experience downstairs when you saw Glance, you took one selfie, it's reading hundreds of attributes about you based on your face shape, your tone, your texture, your age, where you live, the weather associated to your climate, the device, right? All of those elements become really important pieces that go into the model.
Okay.
And that powers that first experience, 100 images that are generated for you. And as over time, the model is refined based on your usage. So what we like to say is we're navigating the complexity in shopping. We help consumers discover new brands, and we help brands find new shoppers. And it's all driven by intelligence and AI.
Wow. Yeah, because I think a lot of the conventional fashion shopping, you start by looking at the products you might like, you look at the models wearing them, and we all have different body shapes and things. And I often find it looks good on them. How do I know it looks good on me?
Yeah.
You know, how do I know it connects? You've kind of cracked that thin slice, which is really interesting. What are because the user base, I was shocked we had our chat before, how big the user base is. What is the insights that you're beginning to collect from, is it 300 million active users?
Globally, yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, insane. From a U.S. perspective, our one of our moats, we like to say, is our distribution.
Yeah.
So we very much have a three-legged stool in our model. We have a B2B relationship, a B2C relationship, and our OEM and telco partners that sit in the middle. And so those integrations are natively built into the device itself.
Yeah.
And that, from a U.S. perspective, by the end of this year, will be on about 160 million devices.
Wow.
Which is pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
There's a really large commerce graph that we're building behind the scenes, understanding relevance, size, you mentioned, fit, brand preference, right? Geolocation is a factor, right?
Yeah.
The styling. So we are really in this critical moment where, from a technology perspective, the LLMs and AI models have caught up such that we can build this really robust back-end infrastructure to support not only the product recommendation, but the image generation. And the biggest piece is the consumer side.
Yeah.
So consumers are far more advanced, right? With, the presence of LLMs and kind of the shift to agentic. We're solving something from a category perspective that is discovery and recommendation. So no longer are you out in the market having to search hundreds of sites.
Yeah.
You can actually use an intelligent shopping agent like Glance to recommend products, but not just recommend them. You can see them on yourself. And what we're finding is 40% of our users are adding something to their cart.
Wow.
Which is pretty phenomenal, and I think it speaks to the technology behind the scenes that's actually powering the recommendation of the product, because we know the user. We like to say we're going from personalization to personal. Every user has a personal model.
Right.
And then the ability to put that into context, like physically putting it on your body, as you saw, is really powerful, because you actually see yourself in that product. And one of the big pieces of feedback we see from consumers is, I never thought I could pull something like that off, or I never thought, I never knew about these brands.
I can imagine you'll be in a position at some point where consumers might lobby you to adopt certain brands.
Yeah.
Right? And say, I wish I could see myself in this brand, because that is such a useful tool. In terms of like agentic and being a part of the consumer journey, is there anything you can say about where you think this is going? Are you predicting that there will be an increased reliance on agentic tools as people start to play with this type of technology? When you paint the picture about the next few years, what are you expecting to see? Or what's the bet that you guys are making?
I think you are hitting on something exactly right. It's the convergence of kind of the perfect storm, right? Yeah. Consumer behavior is shifting, right? But you also have the technology and the back-end infrastructure that is facilitating that massive change.
Yeah.
So the LLMs, right? The ability to train models on these specific use cases, the infrastructure to support recommendation, right? The ability to ingest millions of products at scale and then drive that recommendation is something I think fundamentally we never thought would exist. Yeah. But the last few months to a year has just, like, every day, every week, it's changing week on week. But it's a powerful opportunity because consumer behaviors are ultimately changing. Like, you no longer have to shop the way you used to, because the agent learns you and it recommends things. It will learn price sensitivity. It will give you tool sets where you can actually store brands, scan your closet, understand the weather. There's a lot of feature sets around chat. Like talking to an agent, they start to learn you and your personal preference. Yeah. Reading your calendar, right? Like, when do you have these events? What might you need recommendation-wise? And then as we think about our business, really, we started in fashion and retail. We've been focused on expanding categories as well. So for us, that manifests really nicely on, given our presence in television. Home is a big category for us. Yeah. Travel, pet. Because that screen in your home is that second screen where you spend most of your time, and it's really immersive. So our ability to kind of have that consumer relationship and lend it to brands to be recommended in that environment is really powerful. Yeah, I think it's great for us marketers because it signals, it demonstrates that an experience layer on top of AI is really important, because OpenAI and others had tried to integrate products within chat and failed and pulled it off. Yeah. But the fact that it feels like a glossy catalog and it's so confidence inspiring, I think that's going to raise the adoption. So before we go, I know we're at time, what is one item that it recommended that you would otherwise never have bought and you were like, oh? You know, it's funny you ask that. Earlier this year, we launched at a big moment at Shop Talk.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was great to be with all of those brands. And, you know, the retail community is a fashion community.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, you see this fit. This was styled on me by Glance.
No way. This whole outfit?
Yep. And then the other one that at Shop Talk, I had no idea that creams and browns were my color story. So our agent actually, like, we look at tone.
Yeah.
You know, texture, age, all of those things. And trend.
Yeah.
So we're training our models based on like what's in season now.
Okay.
And it recommended like beautiful, like deep browns and creams and linens and stuff I never thought that I would wear. I got so many compliments that week. So I'm a walking Glance ad.
Yeah.
My husband loves Glance, but he hates how much more money I'm spending. So with that, it's been an exciting time.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much, Aimee.
Yeah. It was awesome.
Hope to see more of Glance soon.
Yeah, us too.